Duelists Pheromone here, and today we're going to go ahead and open up the brand new The Chronicles deck, The Fallen and the Virtuous All Foil Edition. This 50 card deck not only has some amazing new cards for the branded strategy and some new reprints featuring alternate arts, but it also comes with one additional card that's upgraded to a secret rare, and there's a possibility of it having an even bigger upgrade from there. So we'll see what we happen to get. But this is a great entry point if you were watching the anime that recently came out and you want to go ahead and join in all the fun with Fallen of Albaz and his friends. Or if you've already got a branded deck, it has some great upgrades with those cool new alternate arts that are based on the anime itself. So we're going to go ahead and crack this deck open, find out what new surprises might be inside, and then we'll talk a little bit about the practical applications of this deck, both in competitive play and even a little bit of talk about Genesis format. So why don't we go ahead and begin? First off, we got to get the structure deck out of the box here. All right, so it looks like we have a great little paper mat here. Gonna open that up first. There we go. Oh, looks like we got, oh neat, a secret rare copy of The Fallen and the Virtuous. Let me get this a little closer to the camera so you guys can see. So this features the brand new card with a brand new card effect. So let's go ahead and read it together. This card is always treated as a branded and dogmatica card. Well, that makes sense. It is The Fallen and the Virtuous after all. So you're going to send one monster that mentions Fallen of Albaz from your extra deck to the graveyard, then target one face-up card on the field and destroy it. Remember, you get to pick one of these effects. So you can also choose if you have an Ecclesia monster in your graveyard or on your field. Target one monster in either graveyard, special summon it to your field. You can only activate one The Fallen and the Virtuous per turn. So we already know we got The Fallen and the Virtuous, but let's take a look at each of the cards inside. We've got Fallen of Albaz, Incredible Ecclesia the Virtuous, Aluber the Jester of Despia, Blazing Cartesia the Virtuous, Aluber the Shrouded Dragon, or excuse me, Albion the Shrouded Dragon, got Aluber on the brain, Guiding Quem the Virtuous, Springan's Kit, Tri-Brigade Mercurier, Despian Tragedy, the Bestial Lubellion, now that's a reprint I know a lot of duelists would want, Bestial Magnamut, speaking of reprints, Bestial Saronir, Bestial Druid's Worm. We've also got, oh, that's so cool, this is Dogmatica Ecclesia the Virtuous, but wow, does she look great in that new sort of anime-inspired alternate art. She's so cheery before all the stuff happens in the show. We've also got, oh, Dogmatica Fleur-de-Lis the Knighted. Similarly, even though she's a knight, she finally has her helmet off. We've also got Dogmatica Maximus and Nibiru the Primal Being. That's another great competitive reprint. And Keeper of Dragon Magic. Haven't seen that card in a while. We've also got The Fallen and the Virtuous. We already saw the secret rare version, so that's one of the cards that can be upgraded. Branded Fusion, always nice to see it. Branded in white. We've got Branded in red. Branded Opening. Branded in High Spirits. Branded Lost. Branded Regained. Nadir Servants, Branded Bonds, Fusion Deployment. Oh, and there's the new alternate art with Blazing Cartesia and Fallen of Albaz. He looks like he is not amused by this, let's just say. Oh, and Triple Tactics Thrust featuring the Tri-Brigade, literally the leaders of the Tri-Brigade there. We've also got Foolish Burial, Gold Sarcophagus, Super Polymerization, Branded Retribution, Branded Banishment, Branded Sword, Branded Beast. We've got the Black Goat Laughs, as well as Dogmatica Punishment, also Fusion Duplication. And this is a new card here, the Dragon that Devours the Dogma. So it's Fallen of Albaz plus a light or a dark monster plus an effect monster. Interesting. So while an Ecclesia monster is on the field or in the graveyard, this card gains 500 attack. Also, it's unaffected by other card effects. That's wild. So, you can only use each of the following effects of the Dragon that Devours the Dogma once per turn. If this card is special summoned, oh, interesting, you can shuffle up to 2 cards from any graveyard and or banishment into the deck. Kind of helps you with the grind game. And during the end phase, if this card is in the graveyard, because it was sent there this turn, you can add one Dogmatica or one Tri-Brigade card from your deck to your hand. So, great example of some of the stuff you can do with this card. First off, the thing that comes to mind is just adding Tri-Brigade Mercurier from your deck to your hand with that last effect. But you can also use things like Incredible Ecclesia the Virtuous, who does come in the deck, to go ahead and, you know, tribute it for its effect, special summon Fallen Albaz, fuse monsters, including an effect monster and a light or dark monster, so you can gobble up their monsters, and then you already have Incredible Ecclesia in the graveyard, so you have an unaffected monster with 3,500 attack. That's huge. I can think of a lot of different monsters that are really powerful like that, and this one joins their ranks, and it's really accessible, so that's really exciting too. Speaking of exciting, got Mirror Jade the Iceblade Dragon, Albion the Branded Dragon, looking good in Ultra, Lubellion the Searing Dragon, Albalamnatus the Abyss Dragon. We've also got Titaniclad the Ash Dragon, and Brygrand the Glory Dragon, Sprine the Iron Dash Dragon, Reinbrum the Striking Dragon, and finally Granguinal the Dust Dragon. So let me go ahead and pull up the ones with the alternate art so we can all get a better look at it. I know I went through the deck kind of fast there, but I want to make sure we got to see all the cool cards first. But taking a look, of course, you get all of your fusion monsters here, and many of these are among the favorites. But it is really cool, of course, to see specifically the new one here. So I'm going to go ahead and set that one aside. The brand new dragon that devours the dogma. Then, as we continue through here, you'll see the trap lineup is also exceptionally strong. A lot of interesting options there. I think the Black Goat Laughs is really critical. This is a reprint that I know a lot of duelists will be happy about because it's just a really cool card that has seen a lot of tournament play, but I'm equally interested to see some of the lesser used branded cards, and Fusion Duplication's fun too because, well, branded Fusion sometimes goes on and off the forbidden list, 1, 2, 3, etc. So it's nice to see that we have Fusion Duplication just in case. And that's not a hint, no sunglasses here. It's just interesting to see that we've got that card too because it really does help the strategy. Then taking a look at some of the other spells, of course, there's some really great power spells and branded, Fusion Deployment with the great new art here looks so great with sort of the branded branding on it. Same deal with the Triple Tactics Thrust, having all 3 members of the Tri-Brigade is really exciting too. So really cool alternate arts and also just some really good common cards you're going to see in a lot of different decks there. And then as we continue here, you'll also see that there are cards like Branded Bond, Nadir Servant. I'll tell you, I was looking for this from everybody when I was building a lot of different decks, so it's nice to just have that in one place. Branded Regained, always powerful. Branded Lost as well. Branded in High Spirits, Branded Opening, Branded Red, but the Branded Fusion. And then there's that Fallen and the Virtuous, which is just gorgeous there to see because you've got Albaz on one side and Ecclesia on the other. And it's a quick play spell, by the way. You really can use that for a number of different ways that you can, you know, further your duels, but having it as a quick play and it kind of feeling a little bit like Ultimate Slayer and Monsterborn at the same time, that's good for playing around your opponent's plays, including around those dreaded Bestials. So, speaking of Bestials, as we move through some of the great reprints here, Keeper of Dragon Magic, kind of hard to find actually. Nibiru the Primal Being, same deal. I love the alternate arts, specifically seeing the joy of these 2 cards, right? Just the smile. I'm going to pan in on the camera that when I come back to this because just wow, that is just gorgeous. And Bestials, I mean, everybody is always asking, you know, do you have a Druid's Worm for trade? Do you have a Bestial Magnamut? And it's nice to just have this in a deck that actually can get some use out of it. And then having the Bestial Lubellion, you know, super huge there too. The Tri-Brigade Mercurier, you can search it off of the brand new Dragon Fusion, so that's really great as well. Despian Tragedy, you know, if you were cheering for the Despians there, still a great card as well. Springen's Kit, you know, sort of the main character for some fans of this series. Guiding Quem the Virtuous, also a really great reprint. And Albion the Shrouded Dragon, having that in Ultra Rare looks gorgeous. Blazing Cartesia the Virtuous, this is really important actually for a lot of Draco Tail decks in competitive play. And so having this, and maybe you're a Draco Tail fan, but it's hard for you to find the Blazing Cartesia, super easy for you to find it in this deck, it's guaranteed. Luber the Jester of Despia, right? I had a Luber on the brain, but it's also nice to see, you know, Incredible Ecclesia the Virtuous to get those combos started. And then finally, Fallen of Albaz, the one and only. And the gorgeous Secret Rare reprint there is really nice. We didn't get the big upgrade, which just means we'll have to pick up additional decks. I mentioned I was going to talk about Genesis, so I went ahead and took the recipe off the back of the box here and I entered it into the Genesis deck building engine. And I kid you not, this is 489 points. So, great deck if you happen to be in a Genesis tournament that has a 500-point cap. But Branded is a little difficult, and you might be wondering, well, where are all those points coming from? Some of them are actually coming from your extra deck. Mirror Jade, the Iceblade Dragon, is 33 points, if I recall correctly. And I want to say that another big one is Branded Fusion. I also believe that's 33 points. So you do kind of have to pick. Maybe, you want to use some of the power spells more to get your fusions going, or maybe you want a big boss monster in the form of Mirror Jade, but you will have to figure that out. And then you're like, wait, you said 500 points. Well, it kind of nickel and dimes you here and there as you see things like the Bureau of the Primal Being is at 10 points, and there are lots of other little parts that shave it off. Even Incredible Ecclesia the Virtuous, I want to say off the top of my head, is 3 points. So, if you are trying to build a branded deck, you actually could just grab 3 of these and kind of mash it together, similarly to the way you might have done with the structured deck Blue Eyes White Destiny. But you also could just play it out of the box and have yourself kind of a Fallen of Albaz cosplay deck, which is really neat, right? You get to visit all the locations from throughout the series and get to duel with a deck that really works. Think about this, at recent Yu-Gi-Oh! Championship Series events, people have been playing branded. Sometimes it's branded Draco Tail, sometimes it's branded Pure. There's a lot of different ways to play it, but this is a legit deck right out of the box. So, if you're excited about the Chronicles deck, the Fallen and the Virtuous all foil edition, and you did see it is all foil, this is again coming out on October 22nd at your official tournament store, and October 24th wherever else you find Yu-Gi-Oh! And I'm really excited to see how this pushes Branded over the edge, because I do think, again, that brand new spell card, which I already mixed in. I already mixed this in the deck. And don't worry, we'll get this in sleeves too soon. But the Fallen and the Virtuous is just an exceptionally interesting card. And I really do think that the dragon that devours the dogma is also going to give a little bit of extra support too. Remember, there's also new Tri-Brigade and Dogmatica cards all over the place, right? You might have seen there's a new Fleur de Lis in the recent set, Doom of Dimensions, as well as some new Tri-Brigade support as well. So you can also take things like the Triple Tactics Thrust that has the Tri-Brigade art on it and pop that into your brand new Tri-Brigade deck. There's a lot of great ways to do this. I'm excited to see what you do with this, and you've got to tell me exactly how you're going to use it in the comments, because duelists, this is going to be a good year for Mr. Fallen of Albaz. Until then, we'll see you in the next one.